Hi, I'm Tom Lynch, and you're in the studio with me where I'm putting the finishing touches on one of my studio paintings. Nice large scene. But before I talk about some of the techniques I use to create that painting or other techniques, I want to share with you a really interesting little thing that I use for a change of pace or when I'm traveling on location and I don't want to bring all my painting gear. It's the sketch and wash pencil. Well, you might not think that's a big deal, but I've been sketching forever, and it is the basics for any important painting that you're going to be doing, be it in the studio or on location. But this little gizmo, this little sketch and wash pencil is really unique in that I can take and add a little touch of water with a brush, and it's like a watercolor pencil. It just releases all its shading, black and white shading, and becomes a little art process. So I've got some smaller ones, and I'm going to bring you in close and give you a couple of suggestions along the way. But the idea being, you want to keep one of these just with you at all times, and a unique little brush that holds the water so that all you need are these two and your sketchbook, and you'll be amazed at some of the great little art or inspiration ideas that you'll achieve along the way just because of this little pencil. So come on in closer. I'll share with you some techniques and how I use this, and I'm learning all the time because this has just been an important little mainstay in my little package when I travel, and it is a lot of fun all by itself. Come on in, take a look closer. I want to share with you some of the fun that this can create. Now that I have you in a little closer, looking over my shoulder, take a look at the same scene that I've done a little sketch in two different ways. And that's one of the things I like about the sketch and wash pencil. It kind of encourages me to play a little bit. I mean, each of these didn't take but a few minutes, and I had a chance to look at maybe the light tree in front of a dark background, or dark tree in front of a light background here, and reverse the fence and the fields and buildings and so forth. So I had a chance to just play and explore, and this was all done with the two things, the sketch and wash pencil and a brush. But here then comes, the fun part, is where I'll do some shading with this pencil, and that shading, as you have seen here, that shading is going to turn into paint, more or less. So it's going to dissolve with that water. So I might, shade in, different directions, up and down and left and right, just a part of the building. And I don't have to shade everywhere, because I'm going to show you right over here what I call a little area where I'll shade it especially dark, and I'll use a couple of these especially dark sections as a reservoir. It's like my palette holding some paint that I can transfer over to the tree or whatever. So here I'll just shade along just in parts, just a section, maybe just the outline, and that will dissolve as well if I wanted to. Like I said, you can just take a regular brush, and I take the sponge sometimes so I can roll the brush and get a point, or just come right from my little container of water. Let me put that so now you can see I've got everything in view. And so now I'm going to just take and look at how, there it is, all that area that I had done the shading with the pencil is turning this into paint. And watch this. I'll take some of this, pick up this paint, and I'll do some shading to the tree. I'll transfer some of this dissolved pencil, graphite, paint, call it what you want. It's all dissolved. And now I'll use that as an area to transfer over here where I might want a middle value or a lighter value. So I won't do any shading if I want a lighter value. You can see how I can take just what's left on the brush from where I had dissolved. So back over here, get some more water. Look at how I get a nice crisp, look at that nice dark edge. And so that's the beauty of this, is how she quickly dissolves. And I'll smooth this out where you see the scratchy pencil lines. I can make them disappear if I choose, and you don't have to all the time. So this background hill, I would like for it to be darker, so back and forth a few times and away she goes. Now here's something that's pretty fun as well. I may not be able to travel you know, with my brush all the time or have it, but this I can anywhere. And I can open it up and put clear water in there. You can also put water with color. That's another lesson. And give a little squeeze and it transfers, and now that water that's here is moved its way up to the brush portion of this. So another little fun little product here that, look at that. Isn't that great how that just dissolves that, just a touch for the top of that and the bottom of that fence post. So I'm using up some of this paint, transferring it. It's on the tip, pulling it over there. Maybe I want just a thin little line. Look at how you get thin, nice little crisp darks. So I'm using this, I call that reservoir. It's like in a palette, a section of paint. And I'm now able to pick up some of that dissolved sketch and wash pencil and transfer it over to maybe a couple of twigs or a couple of leaves. And so I can continue on, you know, just using what is there. Now here's another little trick that I'll take and do. I'll take now and I'm just squeezing out water and squeezing it on the white surface. I didn't do any, that's normal pencil there. So that's just a regular school pencil. But I'm using this brush, in case you don't get the idea, just taking and transferring a lot of water there to that area. Now, since this is already wet, I have just a little light touch. And if I'd like to have these long little spiky, you know, pieces of grass, so I can now just use this and it will dissolve it right when I touch the wet surface. Maybe just a few accents. Some little wildflowers or a weed or two there. Look at how I can get some wonderful little spiky. So that's what I want out of this section. Some nice little spiky, but they'll look different because this is still wet. It will look like I painted them in. And here I can thicken it up. And so there's another possibility where you wet it first. And then there's times like in here, let's just leave it as a tool of drawing and let the pencil look like just a regular pencil mark, where I have all these little stone parts, little highlights of darks, because I get a beautiful ebony dark with the black that is in this general pencil sketch and wash pencil. So I'll leave it for some areas where it's just a regular sketch, a pencil sketch. Areas like this where I have already done the sketching, and then I turn it and dissolve it, and so now it's like there's paint being applied. And so whether it be a couple of windows, whether it be a chimney, whether it be the hill in the background, look at that nice clean edge I get because it's now pigment. So the wonderful little toy tool, this sketch and wash, you can see how all I need is the sketch and wash pencil. I need a brush. I can wet it and come back like this and darken it even more. If I want to punch up that dark, so put a little moisture there to begin with. Come back in and take your sketch and wash pencil and smooth it out again. So now you get a little idea, a whole fun way to create a little black and white painting. I think I'll bring a few leaves over here, so I'll pick up where there's some extra dark. There's that reservoir section I talked about again. There's some still extra in there, and I'll use that for my lighter value for the suggestion of some leaves to this tree. So back to the two that we had before, and I had a chance to explore all with just having my sketch and wash, a little bit of water, maybe a sponge from Joe's, and any brush will take and dissolve this for you. So now you can see why I find this sketch and wash pencil such a handy little tool, a fun little tool, and a wonderful change of pace to create some art in black and white. Let's bring back the popularity of pencil and now sketch and wash added to the pencil. It's all about a simple little pencil, sketch and wash pencil. You can get it at your favorite, art supply store, made by General. Get one of these little brushes that has water in them, or travel with a little cup and one brush and your sketchbook so you're ready to do art at any moment's notice. You're driving along, traveling along, you got some extra time to kill. What a fun way to play and become a better artist at the same time. And I still can be a better artist at the same time. So join me for some art classes at artacademylive.com. Check out my website, or just check out your local store and get one of these little sketch and wash pencils. You'll be excited as I am and have fun and become a better artist at the same time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you with this in your hand one of these days soon. Bye for now.